What's up guys, Jeremy here. Today I'm going to show you the easiest, cheapest way to get started on YouTube. We need to get started with the minimum viable product. That's what they say in a lot of different industries. That means get something out there that's good. It doesn't need to be perfect though. A lot of times we wait around trying to get everything perfect. We need to get that minimum viable product and we need to get it out there. So we don't need all the best gear. We need good enough gear to get started. So what does that good enough mean? Well, first off, it means we don't need the top 4K camera, the newest microphone, the newest drone, sliders, all kinds of crazy cool stuff. I'm like all you guys. I like to look at gear. I read all the specs on the new cameras coming out, the newest this and that. Everything looks great. I would love to have all that stuff. But is that really what we need, especially when we're getting started? No, it's not. An iPhone can shoot a good high quality 4K video, 1080 video. It can be stabilized in the camera. And it's at like 150 megabits a second using the Filmic Pro with their Filmic Extreme setting. So that's higher than a lot of the DSLRs people use. The Sony a6500 shoots at 100 megabytes a second. The Canon 80D shoots at I think 84 megabytes a second. So you can definitely get some quality video. Yeah, the sensor's smaller, stuff like that. But with the app like Filmic Pro, it gives you more control over your camera, so you can control your shutter speed, you can control your exposure, you can pull focus with it even. I don't know if you know what that necessarily means yet, but you can get some cool shots where you pull focus from something in the background to something in the foreground. It gives a lot of... Go watch some of your favorite TV shows, and when there'll be people on different planes, and as the conversation moves, the focus will pull back and forth from different people. So you can do stuff like that just with an iPhone. You need to have some lighting, and you could do something simple like a Neewer or Neewer, however people pronounce that brand, Neewer, Neewer. They have like a ring light. It's not too expensive. Gives a cool look. You look at some people like D4 Darius, a lot of the beauty channels, they use these ring lights. It gives a cool look. I'm pretty sure that's what Lost in Vegas, if you've seen any of their videos where they react to songs, you can see in his glasses the ring. So that shows that they're using some sort of ring light. It gives a good look. And then your audio, that's where you're going to differentiate yourself from the other newer channels out there. Crappy audio will kill any video. Crappy video, people might watch it. So as long as you have decent looking video and you have good audio, then you're in the running. The next thing you need is good content. It doesn't matter if you have the best camera, the best audio, the best camera tricks, whatever else. If you have garbage content, nobody wants to watch it. So make sure you find something that you're passionate about. Make sure you have some knowledge about that topic, and make sure you can present something unique to that genre. Once you have that, you just start recording and get it out there. Make as many videos as you can. The first thing, you got to get comfortable just being in front of the camera. You got to get some practice in. Make sure you're looking at your lens of your camera. You're going to have monitors or lights or maybe a little cue sheet here to help you. But you can't be staring at yourself the whole time like this, because as you can see with my eyes, I'm not making contact with the audience. So you're going to lose some people with that. You got to make sure you're looking at the camera, keeping the same distance if you can from your microphone. You need to get yourself across. People need to make contact with you. They need to kind of bond with you and hey, there's Jeremy, he's got another video out. So everybody's not going to love you, but at least get your character out there and let people be drawn to you. Try to be yourself. Don't create a character. Try to be yourself. Don't create a character to put out there, because it comes across as fake. So just be yourself. If you're the funny guy, you can throw some jokes into your videos. If you're the more informational guy, you have lots of knowledge, find a way that's interesting to get that knowledge out there to help somebody else. So our biggest thing that we want to do is bring benefit to the viewer. So if somebody's watching your video, if somebody comes to your channel and sees you got a new video, they need to know, oh wow, Jeremy's got a new video out. He's going to give me some content that I can use. So make sure you always bring something. Don't put out videos that are of no use to anyone. And of course your first videos, maybe they're not going to be the best, but hey, if you're putting out some content and it has some good information, somebody's going to like that video. You might help somebody. Maybe somebody's trying to find out how to change a thermostat on their particular car, and you happen to have that same car and you made a video showing how to do it. It might not even be the greatest video. If you have it out there and you have the information for the person and they're able to get that thermostat changed, then they're going to come back and look for you again if they have something else. So just keep honing your craft and keep working on it. But remember, the gear is not what's most important. You can upgrade down the line. So let's look at some gear here and see where you could start. Now I think you should start with something like your iPhone. You can get a cheap Manfrotto tripod. Then you can also get an adapter that hooks your cell phone onto the tripod. A little cheap ball head. I think everything together was less than $100. So you're up and recording right there. If you don't want to use, if you don't want to record on a cell phone and you want an actual camera, you don't have to start off with the best camera out there. Still, the majority of TVs and computers don't shoot 4K. Yeah, everybody wants to go to 4K, and that's the way that things are going in the future. But for now, it's not going to hinder you if you have to shoot 1080p. So you can get an older camera. So you can use an older camera like a Canon T3i or a newer one like the Canon SL2. It's more of a base camera, but it has articulating screen so you can see yourself. It shoots good 1080p video. It has the dual pixel autofocus. That's going to be something that's really good for a one-man operation. That dual pixel autofocus is probably the best autofocus in the business. So you use something like that, or you could look at a Panasonic GH4, I used one of those, or a G85. There's a bunch of good cameras out there. I right now shoot on a Sony A6500. It's a little bit pricier, but you could look at like the A6300 or the A6000. The only thing about the Sonys is they don't have the articulating screen like I was talking about, so you either have to use your cell phone and link to it and then kind of hold your cell phone and get everything centered and record that way, or you can get an external monitor, but that's extra expense, anywhere from $180 up. So just look at some of those cameras, see what you like the best. And then down the line you can upgrade. You can get the fluid head tripod. You'll hear a lot about you need a fluid head tripod, you need the slider, you need a gimbal, you need all that. Yeah, that stuff's all nice. But you see here, my camera right now is on a fluid head tripod. But it doesn't matter. I could be using the other tripod that I showed you in the earlier video. Just a photography tripod, because I'm recording this by myself in my room. I'm not doing any fluid movements here. I don't need a fluid head to just sit in front of me and record me while I'm sitting in this chair. So just get the basics done, get your videos going. Also, make sure you include some B-roll. B-roll is any kind of cut away from your main cut. So this is the A-roll. The B-roll would be when I cut showing you my camera, when I showed you the iPhone on the tripod, the footage I'm going to show you in a little bit of my son at the park. That's all B-roll. So you need dynamic video. You need to keep people's attention. Keep cut to other things, giving information. People's attention span's a lot slower now, so they don't want to see Ben Stein sitting here. All right, so we just need to make sure we're getting content out there. Be dynamic. Get it out there as fast as you can, minimum viable product, all right? So let's take a look at some of the other audio equipment that I think you should start with. What I would recommend if you're just getting started and you want much better audio than an onboard microphone is look at something like a little personal recorder like this. This one's a Tascam DR03, but it's pretty similar to the Zoom H1. It's about the same size, a little smaller. This uses a 3/8 line input, so you get a little lav mic like this. Just hooks right on your shirt, small, out of the way, but it'll definitely give much better audio with something like this than just using the camera mic. Because the microphone I have on here, on my camera itself for background noise, is a decent microphone, but the distance that it has to be, even if it's a good microphone, it's not going to sound that great because those microphones are designed to be within 8 to 12 inches of your face. So this one right up here, even though it's out of view, it's only maybe 8-10 inches from my mouth, so the audio is much better. The one on my camera is about 3 feet away right now. So something like this, it's going to be maybe 6 inches from your mouth. Much better audio. So that's the number one tip that I can give you. Get your audio right. And then get yourself off of your wall. Give yourself at least a few feet from your wall and have something there to kind of break up the background. I don't have a lot of room here, so I have to do it at my workstation. But I have a few lights on here. I have a light just off to this side with the softbox. I have a light off to this side bouncing off the ceiling with the softbox. And then I have a light more like the key light right here. You can see it on my hand. So it puts out a decent amount of light. So you need some lighting, a little differentiation from your background, and then your audio. The camera is the last thing, the sticks, all the different things you're going to see. Once you start going down this rabbit hole, then you'll start seeing all the new things that everybody has. Sliders and gimbals and cranes and whatever else it is. You're not going to need most of that stuff for your YouTube videos, especially to begin. You're going to be doing a lot of talking. You need to get comfortable in front of the camera talking, and don't think you have to get everything right at once because you're going to be editing this. So you mess up, take a breath, take a break. See that little pause there? That's room for you to cut it, edit that out, and you're back on your way. So you can start working on your video again. I probably jacked this video up 10 times by this point. I don't know if you've noticed. YouTubers use what they call jump cuts because it's cool. It looks like it's jumping around. No, that's because they jacked it up, they cut it up, and they're trying to put it out there faster. We're not professional thespians here. We're just guys making videos. And hopefully this gives a little bit of insight to help you. So once you get your video shot, you got to edit that video. So we'll do that on the cheap as well. If you have a Windows, just try to use Movie Maker, or you can get the download of a Resolve, or you can get HitFilm Express 4. There's a few free programs out there. I would say Resolve, the color grading in that is really good. And don't even worry about color grading right now. Shouldn't have said that. You don't need that when you're starting. Just shoot in a standard picture profile right out of the camera. It's good enough. All right, if you're using a Mac computer, just start off, use iMovie. You can do quite a bit with iMovie. And the good thing is you start with iMovie. Once you feel like you want to move up to Final Cut Pro from there, you already have the basic understanding of how it works. And then it just adds to it from there. So it gives you more capabilities, but you have the basics of what's going on there, the magnetic timeline and stuff like that. So you cut it up, you sync that new audio that you took with your little recorder with the audio in your camera, delete the audio from your camera, replace it with that new stuff, and you're ready to rock and roll. Cut it up how you want it, add a little bit of B-roll, If you want to go beyond that, you want to start adding some more cinematic movements in, but you're still trying to stay on a budget, maybe you still only have your cell phone, you can go to something like this. This is the Zhiyun Smooth Q. It's a smartphone gimbal. It's less than $100. You could probably get it even cheaper than that used on eBay. I recommend buying as much stuff as you can used. But you get just something like this. Put your cell phone in there, get it balanced. Then you got all kinds of movements. Once this thing is lined up, it's just going to hold your cell phone perfectly. You're moving around. It's going to look nice. So I'll throw a little, just a little clip of my kids playing. That I took with this, with the iPhone, with the Filmic Pro, just so you can kind of see what's possible. And that's definitely not what you need right away, but if you want to add some more movements and start to take it a little bit farther, you can definitely look at something like this. And who knows, if you like it, you want to keep going, then they make gimbals like this for your main camera. And they can go all the way up to holding like RED cameras, C200s, all kinds of stuff. Our DJI has the new Ronin S that's out. Lots of different things that you can do, but mainly I'm just wanting to show you what you basically need to get started. Don't waste all your money buying everything. Get the minimum that you need to get out a quality product. The minimum viable product. You'll hear that in lots of things. Don't wait around looking for the perfect name, if you're starting a blog, you're starting a podcast, you want to do reviews on YouTube, on anything, just get started. Minimum viable product, get started. So you want your audio to sound good and the video to look good. You don't have to have the top everything to get a viable product. I've always thought, I don't know if you're like me when you're in school, you know that you can get a 90 on a test with 40% effort, or you can get 100 on a test with 90% effort. I was happy with the 90, and that freed up 60% of my time to do things that I like to do. So yes, you can go out and buy an Arri Alexa or whatever you want to make your YouTube videos and spend ridiculous amounts of money. You'll have the best looking YouTube video there is. But with the compression and everything else that's on YouTube, is anybody going to know you're shooting on a $50,000, $60,000 camera? No. They might think, wow, that guy's videos look good. But they're not going to know that you could have got 90% of that look with a $1,000 camera. And you could have got 90% of that $1,000 camera's look with a $400 camera. And you could probably get 90% of that $400 camera with a cell phone. So it's diminishing returns the higher you go up with everything. This microphone here, for me, that's what I felt I wanted. It was $180, I believe. And then the recorder's about $400. But is it going to be that much better than this $20 lav mic that I showed you and the little Tascam recorder that I found on Mercari? Probably not. So it all comes down to what you're comfortable spending and what you're expecting to make. If I ever get a chance to work on a Hollywood movie, I'm not going to have my Sony a6500 and this Zoom H5. But I'm not working in Hollywood. So why am I going to be here with Hollywood grade equipment trying to make YouTube videos that are going to be watched on a cell phone more than likely? You know what I'm saying? So let's just get it out there. Let me know what you think of the video, and if you have any other ideas. I was thinking about making one of these also, kind of going over the easiest, cheapest way to get started with the podcast. So it'll be the same kind of thing, and you could actually use some of the same equipment. So if you've seen my other channel, All Things Man, you've seen that I like utilitarian equipment. So if I have something that I can use for multiple different things, like let's say a knife. You don't want a knife that's just for this and just for this and just for this and just for this. You got to have 20 knives. If you could have 1 or 2 knives that are pretty good at all those. So I like utilitarian things. And if you're into information on guns and knives and manly kind of things, well, go check out that channel. I'll leave a link to that as well. All Things Man. So this is Jeremy. Till next time, stay safe. Peace. Alright, so here's a little bit of bonus footage. This is just me with my iPhone, with that same lighting, with the little handy recorder and the lav mic here. So I just wanted to kind of show you what you can get with a much more basic setup. Lav mic, little recorder, iPhone, cheap set of sticks. This is the Manfrotto travel tripod, I forget what it's called, Travel Go or something like that. But the whole setup minus your phone, and I won't include the phone with the price because everybody has a phone with a decent camera nowadays, but the price of everything else is probably less than $200 max. So you can be up and recording videos today. So just want to show you, get started, get a product out there. If you like it, you start to get some following, then you can buy some more gear. Don't do like I did. I thought I needed better gear up front, and I realized after a while that's not the case. Just get your viable product, get it out there, get a following, and then you can start adding gear, adding to your kit as time goes by. Alright, so thanks a lot.